Yes, I'll start.
On behalf of Presidency University Statistics Society, Predict, we welcome all of you to the Career Talk series, Exodium. This is the second talk of this Career Talk series, and today for this, we have three speakers with us. Firstly, we have Aishika Bhattacharya. As a formal introduction of her, she completed her BSc in Statistics from Presidency College in the year of 2013 to 16. She completed her master's from Presidency University in the year of 2016 to 18. And currently, she is a data scientist at Citicorp Services India Limited. She was also the former analytics at HSBC Electronic Data Processing India Private Limited. So, and I request Aishikadi to start with her deliberation speech.
Thank you, Tiyasha. So actually, it's great to come back here. আচ্ছা আমি একটা কথা বলে নিই, লাইক সবাই কি বাংলায় কমফোর্টেবল আর আই ক্যান কন্টিনিউ ইন ইংলিশ, কোনটা কেউ কি বাংলা?
Yes, we are comfortable.
ওকে, দেন আই গেস বাংলাতে হলে ইন্টারঅ্যাক্টিভও হবে। তো থ্যাংক ইউ তিয়াশা ফর দ্য ফর্মাল ইন্ট্রোডাকশন।
থ্যাংক ইউ।
ইয়েস, তো আমি 13 থেকে 16 মানে 13 থেকে 18 অব্দি প্রেসিডেন্সি স্ট্যাটিস্টিক্সের পার্ট, দ্য ভেরি বিগ পার্ট অফ মাই লাইফ। And thankfully to all my professors, ক্যাম্পাস যেটা আমি অনেকের কোশ্চেন্স দেখছিলাম যে ক্যাম্পাস টু কর্পোরেটে কিরকম ট্রান্সফরমেশন, থ্যাঙ্কফুলি টু অল মাই প্রফেসর্স অ্যান্ড দ্য কালচার ইন দ্য ডিপার্টমেন্ট, যেটা শিখেছি, যা পড়াশোনা করেছি তার দিকে সব হয়ে যাচ্ছে। ইটস লাইক নাথিং ডিফিকাল্ট যদি আমার থেকে কিছু বলার থাকে। রাইট নাও আমার যেটা কাজ, আমি 3 বছর HSBC-তে ছিলাম অ্যান্ড রিসেন্টলি আমি এই 6 মাস সিটি ব্যাংকে আছি। তো আমার কাজ ব্যাংকিং রিলেটেড অ্যাজ সাচ, মানে আমার হচ্ছে অ্যান্টি মানি লন্ডারিং, মানে ফ্রড ডিটেকশন। আমার একটা প্রেডিকশন কাজ যে কোন কাস্টমার, অ্যান্টি মানি লন্ডারিং মানে হচ্ছে মানি লন্ডারিং যেটাকে বলিস যে ট্যাক্স মানে ব্ল্যাক মানি কালেক্ট করা বা ফ্রড করা, কোন কোন কাস্টমার্স করছে বা করতে পারে সেইগুলো। তো এটা একটা প্রেডিকশন প্রবলেম। এবার আমার ডে টু ডে কাজের মধ্যে যা যা পড়ে, সেটা টেকনিক্যাল যা যা পড়ে সেটা হচ্ছে স্ট্যাটিস্টিক্যাল। আমি সবসময় ক্লাস্টারিং সেগমেন্টেশন আমাদের ইউজ হয়, আমাদের লজিস্টিক রিগ্রেশন ইউজ হয়, ডিসিশন ট্রিজ ইউজ হয়। তো অনেক কিছুই যা মানে মাস্টার্সে যা শিখেছি অনেক কিছুই অ্যাপ্লিকেশন আছে। তো ফাউন্ডেশনটা মাস্টার্স থেকে যা যা শিখেছি। আর কোডিং আমি স্যাস করি, পাইথন করি। কলেজে আর্ট শিখেছিলাম, তো থ্যাঙ্কফুলি আর্ট শিখে স্যাস পাইথন এগুলো কোডিং শেখাও অনেকটা ইজি হয়ে গেছে। সো ইয়েস, মানে আমি জানি না কি ইন্ট্রোডাকশন দেবো, বাট ইয়েস কোশ্চেন আনসার সেশনে আরো ডিসকাশন হবে। থ্যাংক ইউ।
Thank you, Aishikadi. Next, we have Pratik Kumar Adhak. As a formal introduction of him, he completed his master's from Presidency University in the year of 2017 to 19, and currently he is an analyst, decision science at HSBC. So I request Pratik to start with his deliberation speech.
Okay. Thanks, Tiyasha, for this great introduction. So, hi everyone, Pratik here. So, I joined HSBC on 2019. So, and this is a great platform. And again, come back to HSBC. Again, Presidency is always one of the favorite place or favorite topic, and also the favorite platform where I can say some few words. This is a great opportunity for me also. So, as a fresher, when I joined HSBC, I joined in marketing analytics. By marketing analytics, so I am in banking domain now in HSBC. So in banking, there are certain domain specific works that they are like what Oishikadi was telling was that is on perspective of bank is that risk perspective. There is risk analytics, there is marketing analytics, then fraud analytics. All those are some parts of a banking domain. So I joined in marketing, and then I have got the opportunity to work in different product teams. Now, by product teams, I mean banking products like in credit card, then in proposition. There are several products of bank. Like so, for each of the products, there is a specific team. So where you can work and apply your statistical knowledge and tools to create different types of models and different types of segmentation. Now, what we do with these models and segmentations, right? So we have the data of the customers. So by the data of customers, I mean the one type of data can be transaction history of the customer. Like let's say I'm a customer, so I'm transacting in different shops, different POS. So from that transaction, I can take out means my behavior, right? What type of behavior that whether I am a very rich person or not, how what type of transaction I do, and what type of products I like. So in that way, so from transaction is to we do the different types of segmentation and try to understand the affinity of the customer towards different products. And then I have also got the opportunity to like working right now in customer relationship management work. So there we actually create a nudge by nudge. I mean the messages that flow into our mobiles, right? That this offer is for you. You can take a personal loan. So this offer will also flow into your mobile when you just join the companies or you start earning when you will be earning member. So those are the things that are also done in banking. And recently, one topic is very much getting hyped, that is behavioral economics, besides statistics also. So I have got that opportunity also to work with that. So yeah, that's pretty much about me. And let's discuss more detail about the questions when we let the questions. Yeah, thanks.
Thank you, Pratikta. Next, we have Shoradip Datta. As a formal introduction, he completed his master's from Presidency University in the year of 2018-2020, and currently he is a business analyst at Bridge I2I Analytic Solution. So I request you to start with your deliberation speech.
Thank you, Tiasha, for the introduction. And without being much formal, I'll go straight into what I have done in the last 1 year. I have joined Bridge in the year 2020 when COVID occurred. And since then, I've been working from home and I have never visited my office, unlike the other two. Most probably, they have visited their office, but I didn't get the opportunity to visit my office. So, frankly, office is my room for me. And in the last 1 year, I've worked on multiple projects. So mainly, I started with a project which is named Node, which goes like this: network optimization and delivery excellence. So as you can understand, I had to optimize the network. Now your question will be what network? So both my previous speakers, they worked in a separate field of statistics, that is the financial sector, but my work is totally different from both of them. So what I had to do is I had the data for a particular company, and the data goes like this. I had different forms of data, like from where to where a particular good is being transferred. Okay, and if you all know that this process doesn't occur in a continuous way, there are breaks because some goods has to be reloaded, some goods had to be the drivers also need rest because mostly they are transferred through trucks. So what I had to do is find the optimal route so that the company expenditure is minimized. So this was mainly which I did for my first project, which is Node, and there are few other projects which I worked on. Those are very different from each other. I worked in a project where I had to apply chemistry with statistics in a project called Intelligent Experimental Design. And actually, this is an intelligent experimental design. Like in chemistry, we have some chemical reactions, and somehow we try to incorporate statistics in it to minimize the time of the experiment. So that's what we did in my in the second project. And for the final project, which I am currently working on, is a project which is related to a time series data. So there's a model which uses Lewandowski. There's a device which uses Lewandowski model in its process, and I had to minimize the error which occurs due to the model. I had to tune the parameters of the model, and I had to minimize the error which comes from the model. So these are the few projects which I work, and that's all from my side. I'll answer more of your questions in the coming question answer session. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank to three of you for sharing your introductions with us. So now can I start the question answer session?
Yes, sure.
Yes, sure.
Okay. So we have some means behalf of all. I'll ask you some fundamental questions. So let's start. Okay, the first question is, what are the skill sets desired for a data science job? And together with that, there is another one. What does the interviewer expect from me? These are the two questions asked first. Will I repeat?
No, it's okay,
No, it's fine.
Tiyasha.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah,
Basically, I think you can start.
Okay, yeah, sure, I can start.
Yeah.
So the main thing that you asked, that what does the interviewer expect during the interview? I guess the first thing you should keep in mind is that to not to put unnecessary things in your CV. Only put whatever you know very well in your CV, whatever you are confident in. There's a notion among people that however if your CV is very long, then you stand a very good chance of bagging the job, but it's actually the opposite. You should ideally, your CV should be within one page, and it should also include whatever like there are also many people who think that right now there's this industrial revolution going on where Python is the giant coding language. So you might think that maybe you'll start doing some course on Python, but from my personal experience, right now in your curriculum, I guess we had R, even you are continuing with R, right? So whatever coding you are learning in your curriculum, be very thorough in it, learn it very well. And so suppose in your interview, the interviewer will never ask for syntax, never ever. They'll ask maybe for some logic, some programming logic. So if your logic is clear in R, it will be in Python also. So you don't need to worry that in your CV you do not have SAS, Python, etc. written there. Okay. And as you all are campus joiners, as you all are freshers, they will not expect a lot of things from you. So yes, so whatever is in your curriculum, like time series, you guys are going through time series. Then data mining, we had an optional course that was personally very helpful to me. And then the logistic regression, the generalized linear models, that part. These are the specific parts which are like very important if you think of job perspective. But yes, have an overall idea, and the main thing is that go through your MSc curriculum very thoroughly. Pratik and Shodav, do you want to add?
Yeah, I totally agree with Oishikadi. And also, the first thing is that you study the curriculum very well. That is the main thing, because that is the thing the interviewer also expect. Because if they ask you what is probability and or what is regression, and if you cannot answer that, then you get a very bad impression, because that is in your curriculum. But if they ask you, let's say, it's like advanced analytics, like let's say what is TSA, and if you cannot answer that, there is no harm in it, right? Because that is not in your curriculum, and you'll probably learn it and you will apply wherever required. But the thing is, in skill sets, if you see, learn the curriculum well, And whatever language you learn, R, Python, SAS, anything, learn it thoroughly. Means syntax is not the matter. Learn the logic. If they say write the sum of n natural numbers and you cannot see the logic, then it will not be a very good thing. Because they will not ask you, tell you to learn, tell it in Python or tell it in SAS. They will tell, yes, you have learned in R, you tell it in R. But the logic must be clear. And means I can tell that learn the Excel very well also. So we are also discussing in our before this we are discussing what you can tell. We also feel that while means we three of us also feel that learn the Excel very well, because that is a very good thing or very good place where you can do a whole lot of things. And honestly, we don't know anything. I can assure you. You also don't. You people also don't know what Excel can do. So that is a very, very essential thing to learn Excel very well, because no one expects also there that, because that is a very you can learn R, Python, that is a good thing, but learning Excel is also important, and that is a very helpful part. Then in CV part, what I can tell is that the CV must be simple, crisp, and honest. What Oishikati was telling, that you have written any project about that project, but you don't know it clearly. And what I mean, in interview, they ask that, what have you done in this project till from the beginning? What are the data sets you have used? What are the analytical tools you have used? In that time, if you cannot say, then they will understand that this is not solely done by you. Probably your friends have done and we have copied it. So that is a very bad impression. But write what you know, write what you have done. That is a very important thing. And the skill sets, what Oshikati has told, those are mainly important. And yeah, that's pretty much enough. Means, they also know that you are a fresher. They will also not expect that you will learn everything of advanced machine learning. They also know, and they also keep those things in mind and ask the question. So don't worry about that.
One thing I actually forgot to say that came into my mind, that for the campusing process, there are some pre-placement exams, like there are group discussions. Then there are what are those, like other exams they take, right?
I think
so long
nowadays
for me, I have forgotten. But it would be good that if you can practice the group discussion, the online they have some aptitude test on maths,
aptitude
English.
test, yeah.
Yes, they have. So, and also during the exam, during the interview, they ask puzzles, so you can always Google like puzzles for interview, guesstimates. There's a thing, guesstimates, that most of them ask during campusing. So guesstimates. So if you want to prepare,
then case IDs also.
Yes, right. So Google, there are like many puzzles, guesstimates, case IDs, and aptitude test. Do aptitude test, because that's the first layer of selection. So do practice aptitude test and group discussion topics also. That is something that you can do. Yeah. Yes.
For aptitude test, those books or the banking exams for SBI PO and UPSC exams, for those there are many books for aptitude test. You can refer to those. Those are very helpful, and you can practice from them also.
Online also they are like very good.
Yeah, online there
materials.
are
like
many.
Personally, I practiced from there's a site CrackU, CRACKU. There was a site I used to practice from that. That was very good. So yes, this is the thing that you can do apart from your academics work.
So I'd like to add my perspective. So if you have ample time, enough time to do some develop some skill sets after you complete your masters, like not everyone joins immediately after completion of MSc. So if you have ample time, some of the skill sets that you need to develop is either you learn Python or R, one of the coding skills which is necessary. And in my personal opinion, in my company, there one has to know one of the visualization tools like Power BI or Tableau, which is very essential to work in any project. So either Power BI or Tableau, if you know either of one of them, then it's very good. but only after you complete your MSc curriculum.
Yeah. So if you means join them also, they will also give a very good
Exactly.
trading probably. So
Yeah.
in freshers, if you don't know Power BI or Tableau, that doesn't matter.
That doesn't
So
matter.
yeah.
Wherever
So
you join, they'll give you like ample
they will
training. They
give
don't
you, yeah.
expect anything from you basically when you join.
Yeah, means in I don't know means whether in IIT or ISI also they'll teach Power BI or Tableau. I think from nowhere they,
Because
yeah.
these are
No.
professional course, so they
This is a
don't.
professional course, right? So
Yeah.
they don't expect also that you will learn Power BI and you will learn Tableau and come to their company. So what they will do, right?
So yes,
don't,
put
yeah.
your like effort in the curriculum only. Like go through that very well.
Yes,
Okay,
yes, the
thank
second question.
Move on to
Yeah.
the next question.
Thank you for your answers. Now the next question is, does very high CGPA matter or a moderate CGPA with good amount of project works matter?
I can take this question. So no, high CGPA means is very good, but if you don't have also that, don't think like that. That I don't have that high CGPA. I myself didn't have that high CGPA. I don't know what you are referring to high CGPA. I don't have that interval. So, but yeah, but moderate CGPA and a good project is also helpful. But if you know the curriculum very well, if you know the topics very well, and you can explain them very well. So in interview, what they ask is, tell me the linear regression in layman language. So they will not ask you to tell all the formulas, right? So for high CGPA, you require all the formulas, probably in exams. But when you go to an interview board, they will tell you that tell me regression in layman language, or tell me this time series technique in layman language. So in layman language, you have to understand the concept first. If you don't understand the concept, you cannot tell it in layman language. So for that, don't think of the that I don't have that high CGPA. So what will I do? So don't think like that. Prepare well yourself, and there is no issue.
But yes, learn, like understand what you're learning instead of mugging up, because as Pratik said,
Yeah.
that they ask very conceptual questions. Like you know all the formula of logistic regression might be, but you don't know like why it is used, in which case we use
Right.
that. You need to know that also while studying, that where do we apply what, like why not linear, why in the place of linear, why logistic, or for that matter not any other model. So you need to understand what you learn.
Conceptual parts. Yeah.
I would like to add a question regarding this topic. Like, is there any cutoff? I mean, what is the general cutoff regarding the CGPA?
There is no such like that.
Sometimes company actually provide cutoff.
Yeah.
What I think
Some companies, yeah, but that is also too low. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Tiasha, continue.
Hey, Tiasha, if you are speaking.
Sorry for the inconvenience.
Yeah.
No problem.
The next question is, what job should we target at the very beginning, like among data analyst or data engineering? So this is the next question.
Shuradeep, you can.
So we were discussing this among ourselves, like multiple companies provide multiple designations to the same person. Mostly we work on the same thing, but we are labeled differently. Like in my company, I'm named as a business analyst, but in Pratik Das company, his name only as an analyst. There are some companies which name you as a data analyst, and some other companies which name you as a risk analyst, and so on. And there's a slight difference between a data engineer and a data analyst, which Oishikadi will elaborate. And so, Oishikadi, can you just go ahead?
Yeah, sure. So basically, data engineer, to be a data engineer after doing a master's in statistics is not very preferred, because the work of data engineer is like, from personal experience, like I work in bank and we have huge data. So managing that data, formatting the data, so making the data in the database, like importing the data to the
Maintaining the
database.
data and making the data means usable.
Usable, exactly. That is the part of the data engineer. Okay, so you need the software engineering skills for that. Might be computer science graduates are more skilled for that job, but
Automation type or
right, exactly. But data scientist, data analyst, business analyst, everything is the same. It depends on the company, like where you're working.
Yeah, means data engineer is a bit different from the data analyst and data science, those things. But
So in a nutshell, go for an analyst job, not a engineer.
yeah, means
data
what
analyst,
cloud
data
must have
scientist,
analyst.
anything.
Yes, data scientist, data analyst,
Yeah.
and all those things.
Okay. Next question is, it's a very basic question, I think, but it's important also. That what is the job of an analyst in a corporate sector?
Yeah. So actually,
we already have discussed this. Like, what are the things that we work on? Those are the roles of an analyst.
Yes, Sorodev, I think you can start then. Probably me and Vishikati will add up.
Okay, so as I discussed before, me as an analyst, what I do is, people just throw me an problem statement, and I have to come up with a solution. And usually, I have to come up with a Python code that solves the problem. So that's what I probably do as an analyst. And just Oishigati,
yeah,
you can go ahead.
yeah, sure. So for me, I first want to emphasize on the fact that I used to work at HSBC along with Pratik, but we two were in different teams and we had very different work. So, however, more person you will see, there are a lot of different work. This is just an instance where you can get an idea of what we are doing. There are a lot of other things also that can be done. For me, right now, like the banking customers are there, whether they're using the savings account or credit card or any other product, whether they are sending monies overseas. So I segment the customers by using clustering. I use K-means clustering and other algorithms there are for clustering, and then I predict basically which customers can do money laundering. If you do not have an idea of money laundering, I'll tell you briefly. Money laundering is like moving in large amount of money illegally, like terrorist financing and all those, where you cannot move that large amount of money without getting into the radar of the government in the country you are using to move the money. So my job is to predict if the customer is basically a criminal. So that's a prediction problem. For that, I use time series. I use clustering for clustering the data. I use different statistical models. Some basic models also I use. I use logistic regression. I use decision tree. Some advanced ML techniques also I use. And coding, I do coding in Python, in SAS. Sometimes I have done it in R. So that's the work that I do. That's the work that's expected from me. Pratik,
yeah, so means work of a data analyst is, means as the word suggests, analysis, right? So from analysis it's coming analyst. So we have to do different types of analysis. So we have the data of the customers. So as I work in banking domain, so I have the data of the customers, different types of transactions, different types of means audio visuals data, like audio data. We have different type of visualization data. So using those data, we do different types of, as Vashikati was mentioning, different types of segmentation, different types of clustering using the clustering techniques. And then we send the customer the nudges or the communications, or tell the customers that probably you can take this product, it's having this offer. So different types of propensity models are also required for that. By propensity model, what they do is that they try to understand, taking into purview the last 6 months transaction history, or or the behavior of the customer. We have different types of variables, and using those variables, we different types of model to understand the affinity of that customer to take up that product. And also I've done a recommendation model. By recommendation model, I means in YouTube you see, or in social platform you see thousands of recommendations are getting popped up in your pages, right? So those are also the algorithmical done, not that someone just pop up those messages. So recommendation model I have also done. So yeah, that's the type of work I have done. So mainly most of the work around the analysis of the data. Right?
But yes, like don't get scared by any of the things, because
Yeah,
you will
means
get
those are
ample
very
trainings and ample guidance. Everything is
guidance
there.
you'll get. Yeah, and also that varies from different teams to teams and domain to domain, and there is nothing generalized as such. So don't start get heavy about those things, thinking those things.
Okay. Now the next question is, what are the difficulties that a student can face after getting their placements?
I can start that. So difficulty student can face basically, as I was saying, that don't be scared. Personally, for me, and I think I can speak for Protika and Shoradip also, going to campus from the directly going to corporate directly from campus, we are all very scared of all our colleagues, scared of a manager, like what will manager think, what whenever they are giving you training or your colleagues is giving you training, suppose you have very silly questions, and we sometimes hesitate to ask, like, okay, if I ask these silly questions, they'll think I am a master in statistics, but still I'm asking a statistics question which I don't know. So they'll think less of me. They'll think that I have not a very good student. I have not been a very good student. So don't think like that. People are not judgmental at all when you ask questions. So in the initial few months when you join a company, please ask as many silly questions as there are. Like, please ask, like, that will be helpful to you, that will be helpful for your colleagues, because once you get assigned to a project, you will be able to work independently if everything is clear for you. So difficulties as such, that's a difficulty which is there in our mind, because we are sometimes scared. But yes, do not be scared at all. That's a tip. And keep a very open mind. Interact, like your colleagues might be like much elder to you, as you're all campus joiners. Your colleagues, most of the colleagues will be very elder to you. You might have not interacted with people who are so much elder to you, like interacted at a friend's level. So keep an open mind. Colleagues are sometimes very good friends. So, yeah. So Pratik, Shoradip, do you want to add?
I have one thing to add. For me, what I have faced a difficult situation is like sometimes I had to deal with difficult clients. Sometimes the client aren't as what should I say, as good as you expect. They are sometimes very rude to you, but I won't make you. I won't scare you with my words. But frankly, whenever you feel difficulty in your entire process, just go and take help from your team members, your seniors and all, and definitely you will get help, and you will learn to uh, avoid the difficult situation. I mean, you have to overcome the difficulties and you will learn it.
Yeah, so means this is also true for life also. So whenever we start a new journey in our life, both comes difficulty and happy things. So here also difficulty will also arise, and you will also feel happy. Probably you will get when you'll feel happy when you will get the salary first check, and also there will be lots of difficulty, but don't bother about those things. Adapt to those difficulties, be adaptable, and be also try to adjust with those difficulties, because in the long run those will not bother you anymore. And what Vashikati was telling, try to ask as many silly questions as you can in first 6 and don't think much about those. You can clear those things. Yeah.
Okay. Now the next question is, which one have a better scope? Good at statistics, bad at computer, or moderate at statistics but expert in computer?
Um, Shoradeep, do you want to take?
Yes, sir. So it's always good to be best in both, but it really doesn't matter since you people are statistics masters in statistics, so you must be good in statistics. Otherwise, it's really shameful for you to be to be even moderate in statistics. Not moderate, but you just cannot say that I am not good in statistics because you are learning statistics. So you should be at least better than others who are not students of statistics. So this should be it. And side by side, you have to be equally equipped in computer, and probably that's it. Mostly, we don't need computer because you will get to learn everything after you join the company.
Yeah, so first for you, the first hurdle is cracking the job interview, right? So for the job interview, they'd expect that whatever is there in your curriculum as your master's in statistics, you'll have good grasp over the subject, and they might also ask you some coding questions also because R you also have R in your curriculum. So my suggestion is that do not ignore either one. So take R as a part of your curriculum only and focus on your whole curriculum.
Okay, Pratikta, is it there?
Acha, yeah, I got disconnected. Hello.
Yeah, you're audible.
Yeah. So, what was the last topic we were discussing? Means I just got disconnected.
Yes, the question was that what is important? Good at statistics, bad at computers, or moderate at statistics but expert in computer?
Nothing is important. Nothing is nothing is less important. So nothing is very necessary. So I think Oisikadi and Soradev has already told. So that word bad should not be anywhere in word cloud. So you have to be good, and if you want to clear the interview, you have to be good at everything. Because in interview they don't know you, right? Means your friends know, your teachers know that how you are, but in interview is one time thing. So they don't know anything about you, you also don't know anything about them, but the thing is they will judge you on that 1 hour only. So you have to be good at everything, and means you can tell, means you can forget one formula or means one thing, and you can also tell that yeah, I am not sure on this answer, can you please go to the next. You can tell those things, but don't tell that I'm bad at this and probably I cannot answer. Don't tell like that. Yeah.
Okay. Now the next question is, what are the job opportunities in government sectors?
Soradeep, you can
I
take
think I will
this.
take this
Yeah.
up because so I'll go like this. There are a few opportunities as a statistician in government sectors. The most popular among them is obviously ISS, which is the Indian Statistical Service, uh, which you have to crack through the ISS exam, which is a very difficult exam. Apart from that, there are two more positions in SSC, which you have to crack through SSC CGL. So those positions are uh, JSO, Junior Statistical Officer, and a Statistical Investigator position. So those two posts you can apply, and another very important position that you can apply is the RBI Grade B DSIM officer. So these are the three main things that you can apply. Apart from these three, you are always welcome to apply for any probationary officer post in any bank, and you can also apply for SSC jobs because you are eligible to apply for everything. You can even go for jobs which does not require statistic at all. But I just mentioned the few jobs which are related to statistics and which you can do after completing masters in statistics.
Yeah, I think are they asking about the government jobs only?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now we have a question in a comment box.
Yes, yes. We can take that up.
Means if you can, if anyone wants to tell anything, you can unmute them and they can say it by person only.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, obviously.
Yeah.
All the participants, I'm saying them that if you have any kind of queries, you can place those in the
Right, right.
comment box. So we have got a question in the comment box.
So as I can see, how much time you have to complete a project, and if someone stuck with some project, how the seniors or coordinator helps them. So for me, my project took over 2 years. Uh, I don't know about others, but my first project, which was Node, I joined after it was already 1 year of it, and then I joined, and I was given 1 year of time to complete it, and I've done it within 7 to 8 months, and this is now already completed. So I didn't face any such project which needs some any required amount of time. Oshikari and Pratikta will discuss their personal experience.
Yeah, so projects actually depend on company to company, teams to teams. So in some company, in some team, they have very long tenure project, like as Sorodeep was mentioning. Some has a very means 1 month project or maybe 2 weeks project. And also, but the second question was much interesting, and I think we need to answer that. So don't feel like that. Once one will rebuke you or tell you that why can't you finish that project. So don't expect like that. So and at the end, think like that. The project has to be submitted by the company, not by you, right? So that is a matter of the company, or that they have to be done in time. So don't take that pressure that I have to complete it by this week, or so there will be a timeline. Not that this is your project and do it lifetime. There will be a timeline, and your manager, your teammates will help you in that. Don't get scared.
Yeah, so like about the guidance, they are like always there to help. Suppose if you face some difficulty whenever you are in a project, do may ask your manager, do ask your colleagues, like if they suppose in some cases there are independent projects. Like right now for me, I am just doing a project. No one is there in my project. I'm doing it independently. So even when I face any difficulty, any doubt, I make it a point to ask my manager or ask my colleagues who are doing other projects, like, can you guide me? I am stuck with a situation like this. So they are always ready to help, always ready to brainstorm the solution. Also about the deadline that Pratik was talking about. Yes, the deadlines are there, but very important thing is that whenever you're doing a project, you do not have like that deadline. Ki, start a project and submit it in suppose it's a 2 year project, also submit it after end of 2 years. You always have phase wise deadlines. Suppose you have deadlines in weekly deadlines, monthly deadlines, so you always have phase wise deadline to complete the project. So I suppose there can be cases, even I have faced that situation, where some of the deadlines were not achievable. So always call out the risk, whatever risk you are facing doing the project. Make it a point to call it out as soon as it possible, so that your manager also can accommodate by extending the deadline. Or if you can, so if you understand that something you cannot do, like, okay, like whatever skill you have, with that skill you cannot solve the problem that is in hand, call it out, don't hesitate, like do not hesitate at all. So that is very much appreciated. If you call out all the risk, that is called the risk of the project. So yeah, that is a thing, that do not hesitate, everyone is there to help. Maybe with the
Yeah.
technical thing, maybe with the timeline, but everyone is there to help. And yeah, time like we have long projects, but the deadlines we have weekly, monthly. Some teams have regular stand-up call to see that what day to day what one has done. Depends on the team culture, but yes, like at least monthly deadlines we have. Like at least once a month, some deadline is there for us.
I have two questions. Can I ask them?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure.
My first question is how to develop your analytical thinking. I mean, through the 5 years of course, like we are just learning the tools of statistics that we can use in future. So I think additional thing will be taught us in the future in, I mean, the training session. But the point is, how can we use those tools? I mean, how can we think analytically or uh, imply those rules or like any model in those practical field? Because sometimes we don't have internships or something like this. So how can we start doing that? And my second question is, okay, firstly, you answer the first question, then I will ask you the second time. Okay.
Yeah, so that's a very actually big gap between the academics and the job corporate world. That you need to academics you are learning like what is regression and all, and the corporate you are expected to apply whatever you have learned, like what situation, what thing will be applied. So as you are in academics right now, my suggestion will be like we always have practical problems, like we always have statistics practical, like we have a paper. So whenever you're given the problems, just think about it. Like most of the time, suppose for time series you're doing, you know that this problem is there, this time series model you need to apply, and then that will be the result. But think that why do we need to apply this time series model on this data? Or suppose you are doing logistic regression. For logistic regression, you have been given a like practical, so you know that you need to solve it by logistic. Think that why not linear instead of logistic? So if you start thinking like that, I guess that will like without internship, without project, that will help in your analytical thinking. And obviously, like whenever you learn something, learn it conceptually, like what will why is it needed, or what is in statistical modeling there are many assumptions. So go through all the assumptions. Think like wherever, suppose in most of the cases where we apply models, we always see that one or two of the assumptions are not holding true. That's why we cannot apply that model, we apply another model. So go through the assumptions, go through the concept, and always the practical paper is very important, which for us we kind of do not take it very importantly. But yeah, that's what I can suggest for now. Pratik, sure that you want to add.
Yeah, I also totally agree with Vaishikadi. So analytical thinking growing will come from that way only. So what you are studying in your courses, just don't study. Means just what you do is we just study and mug up and write in the answer sheet. Don't do it like that. What you have studied, just think on those things that how can I apply them and in practical questions, how can I, why will I do the logistic regression? Why not linear? What will be the advantages? What will be the disadvantages? Think like those. Ask those questions to yourself. If you cannot solve that, talk with the teachers. There are plenty of faculties you can talk with them, and that will come like that way. That is means that will not come suddenly that you have just passed MSc and from the next day you have started thinking analytically. That will not come like that. So in the curriculum only, while going through those topics, start reading. I mean, you are reading those topics, but start thinking also that how can I apply them in real life problems, and talk with the teachers. That will really help you. Yeah.
There's a very good platform, Kaggle, that you can suppose.
Yeah. I think AKG sir must have already will tell you in MSc courses that whatever technique you are studying, use the Kaggle datasets. There is plenty of datasets, Kaggle, UCI. Use those datasets. There are also plenty of problems already done there. How they to see how they have solved those problems and do your solution and match the accuracy rate. And if it doesn't much accurate, see that how have you can improve that accuracy rate. Like this, it will come. So it will come with time, not that it will come overnight, but practice those things, it will come. Yeah.
And not just modeling, what I have faced that a major part of our job is to check the data quality, because that is
Yeah.
the
So
first
yeah,
step of the
that
analytics.
very important point. So before, means all are telling about modeling. So we are doing modeling,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
the most important parts are
Foundation
done
part.
before.
Yeah.
Yeah, base creation, checking the data quality, checking the
Missing
population,
data,
those things. Yeah,
outliers,
missing data,
everything.
outlier treatments. Those we avoid. Means those we think, yeah, those are very common ones. But no, those are one of, means very important from the model perspective when you come to real life problems.
So yes,
yeah.
right. So whenever you're going through in your course like missing data analysis or outlier treatment, give special attention to those.
Right.
Thank you for answering. My second question is about freelancing. I mean, these days this is a very popular thing. I mean, if you wanted to be the boss of your own work and being a data analysis by yourself and doing freelance works, I mean, what is the take in this topic of you guys, and how one could start after doing freshly doing MSc or having 1 or 2 years of experience in some industry? Then, what is the take of you guys? That's my question.
So I'd like to say that don't immediately go for freelancing. Just gather some experience. You will get to learn a lot about the market, and you'll get to learn a lot about more skills. You have to develop your skills. You have to understand other things, like how to handle a company. Just after passing your masters, directly doing freelancing will be difficult, according to me. Uh, so, what about the other two?
Yeah, actually, same. I think that you for freelancing, you need to gain industry knowledge. Actually, you need to see that how things are done, and
Yeah.
actually, you need guidance. Actually, first when you go from MSc to corporate, you need guidance. So, I guess that is missing in freelancing. So, yes, Pratik.
Yeah, so means this is the time to grow, means this is the time to learn. So if you means try to learn the various techniques, various things, various be updated in learning things and all those things. If you I don't think after joining a company you'll get you can do those things. So try to focus on those growth part. It is very important in beginning of the career. As much growth you can do to yourself, that will probably help you in the long run.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay.
Yes, can we
Yes,
go to the
sure.
next?
Next, again, we have a question in the comment box.
Okay, I can't see the.
Okay, so what is the
Yeah.
average salary of a data analyst as a fresher? So, Shomojit, what average are you asking for? Is it the mean, median, or the mode, or something else?
I think mean is okay.
Uh, if we directly go to the mean, then if I see my friends who are from ISI, they earn a lot of money, and I don't know after how many years I'll reach their position, like the amount of money
Yeah.
they earn. So
No, don't think like that, Sorodip. I think we need to answer it from our university perspective. So don't make them. So they are studying in Presidency University right now. So my first suggestion would be don't think about those things right now. Means you just enter a corporate world. You start gaining the knowledges. Salary will not be a problem after 2-3 years of experience. You can shift to in other companies.
Yeah.
You can that don't think about the salary and those things. Once you are getting a job in 7, 8, 9, 10 LPA, you can enter that, and don't think like that. My friends has got 12 LPA and I have got a 8 LPA, so I will not enter. Don't do that mistake. You enter that 8 LPA, gain the experience, 2 to 3 years of work, then you can probably beat your friend only. You
Yeah,
will
yeah,
get a 16
definitely.
LPA, and that does happen very very very.
Very
I have
often.
seen
Definitely,
very
yes.
often. Yeah, so that does happen. So don't think like that, and don't think about the salary and all those things in the very beginning. Try to learn the topics. That is
Mm.
Just
most
just
important.
get the experience. Experience matters a lot.
Yeah,
Right.
because after like 2 years only, 2, 3 years, if you switch, so suppose if your salary is not low, I have known people who get 150% hike also. So it's very
Right.
common, very common. Like, and corporate is a place where like most of the people switch after a certain point of time. So that the starting salary doesn't matter at all, actually.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, now the next question is how crucial getting an internship is for getting a job, and if it's important, what are the procedures for getting it? Also, tell us about some summer internships that student of any university can do.
I didn't do any internship, but I did join a job. So, but the other two members present here, they have done internship, but I didn't do any internship, and still I'm currently working. So that must
So I
answer
think the
that
answer
it's not
is yeah.
It's
exactly
independent event.
necessary.
Answer you have already given. So that is not a necessary thing to do the internship. If you can get, that is a very good thing. But if you haven't done any internship, that is also fine. Nothing to worry on it. So one example is sitting in front of you, Mr.
Yeah.
Sauradev. So don't feel like that I haven't done any internship and I will not get any job probably. But don't think like that. Yeah, that is not a
But
matter.
yeah, but if you're interested, so talk to the dean of students. He
Yeah.
actually deals with the internship things where whatever internship comes to college, he actually coordinates
Talk,
that.
yeah. Talk to the dean of students. Talk to the our faculty members,
Yeah.
and they in several social platforms like LinkedIn. There are several advertisements given internship. You can join them also if you have time.
Yeah.
But yeah, but don't think like that I haven't done any incentive, so I'll not get any job. Don't think like that.
So like internship you'll do for 2 months. So on that 2 months, if you are not doing any internship, you can go through your curriculum also and be very strong technically. Like you'll be very strong in your statistical knowledge and coding. I guess that will be more helpful for you. So it doesn't matter that whether you do your internship.
And I think in the middle of the course, means MSc course, doing internship in presidencies is will be tough, I think. And for that, if your curriculum or the studies get hampered, that will have a major repercussion.
Yeah, that is the first priority. Like don't get your studies get hampered.
Okay, with this, I have a question that means apart from these internships, any kind of project works is it necessary for means
Nothing is
getting?
necessary. Nothing is necessary.
Okay,
If you
okay.
can do. If you haven't done, that is also fine. Don't think like that this is necessary. Nothing is necessary.
Just on a
But
knack, like on your
passing
knack.
MSc is necessary. one.
Necessary. Yeah, and like knowing the subject, like having a good grasp over the subject. that is
Right. Those are necessary. Yeah.
not just the marks part, but yeah, like as we were discussing so long conceptually, the coding part, the conceptual statistics part, that is important. That is very necessary.
I have a question. Being a part of a society, I just asking the question. Uh, do being a part of any society, I mean, favors you in any kind of job aspects? I mean, if you are in a uh, first-hand experience in a college society or having some kind of experience through it, so does it favor you in the interview or in the job industry? Like, I mean, not in the sense of technical sense. I mean, if you in a part of a society, it will show that you are being a leadership quality, and also I'm just asking like this. So does it favors you?
Could definitely add some value, but I don't frankly believe that it gives you any special advantage.
Yeah, that may have 0.005 advantage.
Yeah, definitely.
Don't nothing
Obviously
more.
not negative.
Yeah,
0.005 is accurate one.
because they will not validate, right, that you have joined a society and what work are you
Yeah,
doing in society. No one will join in the interview. No one will probably see that you are doing
see
this
that part. They
works.
ignore.
Yeah,
Yeah. But yes, like if you're doing something, you're liking it, it's good. Like
it's
everything
good.
is not just for the interview, right? But because you are
Yeah,
learning, being a part of the society, you are
right.
proactively
And
doing
you are also
something.
gaining those experiences. These will
Yes.
help.
Yeah.
Think like
So
that. Don't
in the
always
long
think about the
run, this
interview.
will help
Yeah,
actually.
right.
Thank you.
No problem. Yeah. Next question.
Okay, and the next question is, what are some major companies that recruit statistics major students?
Mm.
That we will get, I think, in our one
Placement
on
brochure
yeah,
is there.
placement brochure that is already mentioned there, right? I
Um,
prepared in our batch, so I know that, and
mhm.
probably they are given in.
But to name a few, HSBC is there, like Bridgei to I
Yeah,
is
in
there,
Kol,
that comes
yeah,
from
HSBC, yeah, Bridgei to I. Then I think City don't hire here, but
yeah,
yeah, Novartis sometimes do, and then
other companies are also
other
there, right?
companies are also yeah.
There are many startups in Kolkata.
Hmm.
They hire freshers like
Yeah,
Financial Fabric and all.
yeah. So in Kolkata, there are a couple of companies like PwC, Infosys, TCS. They also hire. I don't think they hire the fresher one, but they hire the lateral one. So if anyone try to, if anyone have that, is that they will be in Kolkata as a location specific. So they can try out those also.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
Actually,
Infosys,
LinkedIn would be a
TCS.
good source to know what are the companies that hire. You can just search for analyst job and you can just sort by your experience and you will get a lot of choices. So LinkedIn would be a good source where you will get to know from where LinkedIn and Naukri.com as well.
I would like to add a question here. Thank you, Vidrida, for bringing this up. I mean, what activities should undergraduates and postgraduate students do on LinkedIn? I mean, how active should they be on LinkedIn, and what exactly should they do to, I mean, to to help them in their job search? I mean, I have heard that this
First,
is a
yeah,
very crucial platform,
right.
so that's
Like
why I'm asking.
first thing is that be on LinkedIn, create your profile, and follow people from different companies, different HRs. Follow people there because whenever they update, it's important that you can see the update. So yes, follow not only influential people. I'll say follow the HRs, follow regular employees, follow your alumni.
Follow different
Who are,
companies also, means
yeah,
company pages,
alumni who are
LinkedIn
from
pages. Yeah.
right and different pages. And in LinkedIn there's a thing skill assessment which you can do, which you can try out. Suppose you
And if you
people
do any
want,
project, you can also mention there
yeah,
and keep the
right,
profile updated.
right.
Okay, thank you. I think that was the last question, Kiasha.
Yes, but I have another more question to
Oh
ask.
yeah, yeah, sure,
Uh,
sure.
I got one.
Ask. Yeah.
Go ahead.
What is off-campus placement? Means what is the process to do this?
So we have already discussed like in off campus means the companies which didn't arrive at your college campus placements, like the companies which you will have to apply separately. You have to send the CV to the company. Uh, Mostly you will get to know about them from LinkedIn and Naukri. You have to create a profile and you have to just input your skill sets and they will suggest you what are the vacancies, and you will get to choose from the different cities that you would like to work from. And so these two platforms are very much essential, like Naukri.com and LinkedIn.
And you need to proactively also apply for the jobs. So like I was saying now, like you follow alumni who are in different organizations, you can just ping them directly and tell that I am looking for a job, is there any opportunity in your job, in your organization. There are many updates where they require fresher.
Yeah.
So suppose off campus, sometimes you can think of doing an internship also. Sometimes if someone is not getting off campus job, you can think of starting with doing an internship, and there also you'll get an offer for permanent role also. So try everything on that front. Proactively apply wherever you can actually.
Yeah, and one thing just I can mention here that I would like to request the Predict Society also that they can create a group in WhatsApp probably, and they can add the alumni or who are getting chances in different job, different domain, and once they can see any type of job is there in their company, they can post in that group so that
Right.
there will be many freshers, there will be many lateral who want to change or switch their companies. They can get that news from that group. And I think I do know that in several, in 2 or 3 university they had this group.
That's
So
very
if you
helpful
people,
actually.
yeah, if you people can create that,
Yes,
that will
actually,
be
we
very
have
good.
started to create. I think we have added the recent pass outs, PG1, and we will start adding all the next seniors like you all.
Good, good, good,
One
very
by
good.
one.
Yeah.
I have a question again. I mean, can I ask that?
Yeah, sure.
Right, right.
Okay. The question is, in off-campus interview, I mean, 3 of you already are data analysts, but some of the students who pass out from the MSc, they apply for the job, the same job where engineers also apply. Like engineers too apply, so that's why
Yeah.
I'm thinking. So, what the difference makes when you apply for a job where you are totally a masters from statistics and they are engineers. So what does add, add you can add your values as a statistician in that field where also your competition is also a 4 year engineer too.
So basically, I can speak for everyone, I guess. In all our teams, we also have many engineers in our teams. So we have engineers, we have masters in economics. So that line, actually distinguished line, it becomes very blurred when you apply. So if you're talking about what values you can bring on the table, being a master's in statistics, obviously, like you are expected to know more about the statistical models than the engineers. So if you are like very like if you are very clear in whatever studies you have done in your masters, then you can obviously add values. And not just statistics, there are, I have seen many people who are masters in statistics being extremely good in coding. So if you have a knack for coding, then yes, go ahead, like learn coding more. You like whatever you have a knack on, whatever you like, you can bring to the table, like irrespective of what course, like masters in economics, statistics, or engineering. There are some engineers who are like definitely very good in statistical concepts. So that depends from people to people. So yeah, that's what I can say. Whatever you're interested in, put
Thank
your
you.
effort in that, and then surely you'll bring value to the table.
Thank
Sure,
you so much.
Pratik, you want to add?
No, I
So,
think it's enough for
one
me. Yeah.
point Oshikadi mentioned, like if some statistical people are very good at coding, if you want to develop your coding, you can just go and search HackerRank. You can practice all kinds of I should say programs like Java, Python, R.
Right.
You can practice from HackerRank, and it really helps. And it also provides you certificates. I mean, free
Which you can
certificate.
share in LinkedIn, actually.
Yes,
It's very good.
it's very good.
So that's the kind of activity you can do in LinkedIn, actually, sharing these certificates and all.
Okay, Tiyasha, is there
Ankshmita, you
anyone?
have anything more to say?
No, no, no. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Anyone else?
So that was all. Yes. Anyone else? Any participants?
Shall I conclude for him?
Okay,
Yes, sure.
there is no more questions, I think.
Okay, so on behalf of Predict, I would like to thank Vishikadi, Putikda, and Shorodida for taking their time out of their busy schedule. We all enjoyed this session a lot, and I am sure this will help all of the students. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It
Thank
was
you.
great
Thank you.
talking to you all. And best of luck.
Thank you. Bye all.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye. Thank you.
Thank you.